Hello and welcome back. I'm really glad to see you here again. Today's story is not just motivation. It is not just history. It is one of the quietest and most painful truths of human life. There are moments in life when you are struggling, but nobody notices. You are tired, but nobody sees it. You are fighting silent battles inside your own mind, but the world stays quiet. But one day, when success finally arrives, everything changes. Suddenly, people start noticing you. Suddenly, they start praising you. Suddenly, they start talking about your talent, as if everything happened overnight. But they never saw your journey. Today, we will talk about that hidden reality, the invisible pain behind success, the silent struggle behind growth, and the emotional cost of becoming stronger in a world that only respects results. And maybe this story is about you too. Truth 1. The invisible beginning. Every successful person has a beginning that nobody saw. A time filled with confusion. A time filled with doubt. A time where nothing feels certain, but everything demands effort. People only see the outcome, but they never see how it started. Success is not born in public. It is built in silence, in long nights, in lonely moments, in times when nothing seems to work, but you still continue anyway. There are days when you study, work, and try your best, yet there is no visible progress. And in those moments, your mind begins to question everything. Am I on the right path? But this is exactly where everything is decided. Because most people quit here. Only a few continue. And those few eventually become the ones everyone talks about. Reason 2. Discipline feels lonely. Discipline always looks inspiring from the outside, but in reality, it is often lonely. While others are distracted, you are focused. While others are relaxing, you are building. While others are enjoying the moment, you are investing in your future. And slowly, a distance begins to grow between you and the rest of the world. Not because you hate people, not because you think you are better, but because your priorities have changed. You begin to understand something painful. Every distraction has a cost. Hours disappear into entertainment. Time is wasted without realizing it. And most people never notice how quickly life is passing. But you start noticing. So you make different choices. You sacrifice comfort. You sacrifice temporary pleasure. You sacrifice things others don't even think twice about. And that is where real discipline is born. Lesson 3. When nobody believes in you. One of the hardest parts of growth is building something while nobody believes in you. At the beginning of every journey, your vision exists only in your mind. Other people cannot see it. They only see your current situation. And because of that, they judge what they can see, not what you are becoming. Some people will doubt you. Some will laugh. Some will quietly expect you to fail. Not always because they are bad people, but because they cannot see what you see. This is where many people break internally, because you carry pressure that nobody else understands. You carry expectations, fear, and uncertainty at the same time. There are nights when you feel exhausted. There are moments when giving up feels easier than continuing, but you continue anyway. And that is real courage. Real courage is not the absence of fear. It is action in the presence of fear. Truth 4. Success changes. People. One of the strangest realities of life is how people treat you after you succeed. The same people who ignored you suddenly pay attention. The same people who doubted you suddenly praise you. The same people who never believed in you suddenly act like they always did. Success changes perception, but it also reveals truth, because you start to notice something important. Not everyone supports you during the process. Some people only appear when the result is visible, and that realization can feel both powerful and painful at the same time. Reason 1. Validation can become dangerous. When you've been invisible for a long time, you begin to desire something deeply. Validation. You want recognition. You want approval. You want people to finally notice your struggle. But this desire can become dangerous because external validation never lasts. If your self-worth depends on attention, then your peace will depend on others. And that is a fragile way to live. True strength comes from within. It comes from knowing that you are progressing even when nobody is watching. It comes from trusting your own discipline even in silence. A person who only works for recognition stops when recognition disappears. But a person driven by purpose continues even when no one is watching. That is the real difference. Lesson 1. The silent reward of perseverance. There is something powerful about people who refuse to give up. Not because life became easy, not because everything went well, but because they decided their future was worth the struggle. Over time, something changes. The pain becomes strength. The loneliness becomes focus. The struggle becomes growth. And slowly, results begin to appear. Not suddenly, not magically, but step by step. The person who once felt invisible becomes someone others admire. The person who once struggled alone becomes someone others look up to. But the most important transformation is internal, because you realize something powerful. You survived everything that once tried to break you, and that changes you forever. If you are struggling right now, do not stop. If nobody notices your effort, continue anyway. If people doubt you, continue anyway. If progress feels slow, continue anyway. Because some of the most important growth in life happens in silence. Seeds grow underground long before anyone sees the tree. And maybe your current struggle is not a sign of failure, but a sign of preparation. One day, people may finally see your success, but you will remember the invisible story behind it. The pain, the loneliness, the nights you kept going when it was hard. And in the end, that unseen struggle will be the reason you became strong.